to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's forecaster John Bordash with a live forecast update.
Hey, and good morning, everyone. I'm forecaster John Bordash with you right now just before 10 o'clock to give you another live update here from the Storm Center on what it is I'm tracking and how the forecast looks to be going. This is a live look out of Leonardtown, Route 5 at 243. This picture looks a lot different than it did just an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. We now have heavy snow that's fallen. We are looking at a lot of accumulation here on grassy surfaces. We are now even looking at accumulation on the roadways. We said if we saw heavier snow set up that it would accumulate on the roadways despite the temperatures, and sure enough, that is indeed what has happened. We are looking at slow travel on area roads, and we are looking at in heavy snow falling. This is a look at Leonardtown. Let's take you over towards California. You can see the snow is accumulating now a little bit on 235, definitely on grassy surfaces down towards Lexington Park. We're seeing that be the case really region-wide. Let's head down towards Callaway. A little bit more rain to start down here, but we've now seen snow accumulate here on grassy surfaces as well. If we headed on over towards Nanjemoyne, this camera tends to have been one of our snowier ones. We can see snow accumulation here as well. Brandywine, this is also, you see the snow coming down sideways over that way. And on up towards Andrews, we are looking at snow falling region-wide. Let's check it right into First Alert Radar. Let me bring this over here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what it is we're seeing, and actually I think I want to come over here. We are looking at a really dynamic situation. The heavier precip rates have allowed temperatures to cool, and there are a couple things I'm noticing. The first, which I think could be one of the more important ones right now, which might leave a lot of people wondering what exactly is going on. We are seeing heavier bands set up, and I'm noticing a heavier band set up right in this region. And this, if it sticks around, it looks like it might. This alone could produce, 1 inch an hour, right in here. So if this sticks around, that's really, let me take the coloring off here so I can really get into radar. This is really showing up right through St. Leonard, down towards Leonardtown, Hollywood. We are looking at heavy snow. One thing I'm also noticing is radar is indeed trying to pick up on some rain, trying to mix back in. So if that does stick around, you will need to work with that as we head over towards about 11 and 12 o'clock as temperatures once again try to rise. And I do see some reports of mixed rain and snow, so we'll see if that sticks around. But we do indeed see, just the wider view. Let me come back on here. We are looking at several different bands of heavier snow. We have one band that's set up right through here. We have another band right through here. Another band right through here. We have one that kind of stretches like this. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it is indeed there. So we have several different bands of heavy snow that have set up in each one of these regions, and each one could produce up to 1 inch an hour in all of these zones. So that will lead to that widespread 1 to 3 inches of snow across the region. And if I take you back on over here towards what we're looking at outside right now, again, this was Andrews, but if I take you down towards Leonardtown, we have snow that's accumulating region-wide on roadways, especially under those heavier bands. This is Route 5 with 243. You are seeing snow that is not only accumulated, and I'll see if I can draw on here, snow that is not only accumulated here. Are you going to allow me to? Here we go. So we have, oh no, I don't think you're going to let me do that. That's fine. That's fine. But we've not only seen snow accumulate here on, I'm going to make sure that we have an up-to-date camera here from Leonardtown. We not only have snow that's accumulated on roadway or on grassy areas, but it's now accumulating on roadways. You can see how fast the snow is falling. Let's come over here towards California. You see snow covering 235. So any interest there along 3 Notch Road on over towards Route 5, I would probably hold off on travel. These people could probably tell you, travel is slippery up there. We saw rain. I watched a lot of the treatment. A lot of people thought this forecast was going to bust, and a lot of people thought, let's head out. But now you're stuck in a situation where we're looking at potentially a heavier band of snow really setting up across our region, and it is really this band right here. And you can see those dark purples from about Prince Frederick through about Mechanicsville down through about Hermanville to about Lexington Park. This region right now is seeing some heavy snow. We have another band. Actually, if I just put radar into a mode that shows everything as rain, this allows us to see where heavy bands are setting up. Where you see this yellow band, and let me bring it over here so I can really draw on here to show you. It is this. Let's see. Let me get a white brush here. It is going to be this band right here. This is what we call a mega band. This right here is where you're looking at snow rates of at least 1 inch an hour. So that cuts right through the heart of our coverage zone, really here through southern Calvert, southern parts of St. Mary's County, really central St. Mary's County, so Leonardtown, Loveville, Chaptico, Morganza, on over towards Hollywood, near California, near Lexington Park, Solomons, Lusby, definitely St. Leonard, and again, towards Prince Frederick, Golden Beach, Mechanicsville. This is a region where we're looking at some heavier snow. We see additional bands down here towards King George. We see an additional band up here towards White Plains and Indian Head. And, I mean, that's not to say that everywhere else isn't seeing heavier snow. I mean, you're still looking at decent snow in northern Calvert, much of Charles, much of St. Mary's, much of PG, much of Anne Arundel. But these are really, right now, our 3 heaviest areas of snow. And it is especially this band right through here in southern, this band. You see me outlining it again. We are seeing very heavy snow rates, and that is allowing snow to accumulate fast. It's allowing it to accumulate on roadways. And I don't mean to toot my own horn. However, if you've been following, let me bring you over here. I want to show you what yesterday's forecast called for when we were talking about this. And I even posted it this morning. The key headline we were talking about is, do heavier bands of snow set up in our region? They indeed have, so we will likely be, we will at least meet our forecast and potentially be in the upper range of this. If you're down towards Leonardtown or Lusby, this could potentially end up being closer to about an inch, or maybe like 2 to 3 inches. Bringing it back over here towards live radar, what you're seeing happen is this heavier snow band continues. And you see where we see these yellows, those are heavier snow bands that continue to move through. And this one is really training right through this region. This region specifically right now is seeing heavier snow rates. That's Leonardtown, Lusby, St. Leonard, Prince Frederick, Golden Beach, Mechanicsville, Hollywood, Loveville, on over towards the 7th District Avenue, Chaptico, Morganza, Charlotte Hall. These are all regions right now that are seeing the heavier snow band. If I take this back over towards precipitation typing mode, again, radar's having a little bit of a hard time because the snow is so wet. It wants to show as rain, but we know for a fact that this is primarily heavier snow. And yeah, I see a comment here from Katie Sinclair. It's really coming down fast and heavy right now in St. Leonard. And we can, in taking this back over here, where it shows it as all rain, it allows us to see where heavier bands are setting up. If you're traveling Route 4 from between Prince Frederick and Lusby, you're seeing issues. If you're traveling 235 between California and Charlotte Hall, you're seeing issues. Route 5 from about Hermanville up towards about Morganza, you're seeing issues. And we're seeing this be the case even over here towards Pope's Creek near 301, the Newburgh area. On up north here towards Indian Head, Bryan's Road, Marshall Hall, we see another band of heavier snow. We see heavier bands setting up here to the north as well. We see them all the way down to the south. We have multiple different bands of heavier snow setting up, and we see this represented by the higher radar returns. Again, we're looking at one band here. We're looking at several different little bands right through here. Another band here. Another band here. Another. Like, we have all of these small little mesoscale bands. We have one down here towards Montrose and Westmoreland County. Don't want to forget about you all. These are all continuing to push northeastward, and they continue to train over the same areas. So I have reason to believe that it's this area in here, and let me get a different pen color so you can see. It's probably going to be this area right through here that might see our highest snow totals locally. That's Southern Calvert and Central St. Mary's County. Even though you just switched over to snow, you currently have this snow band moving through right now, and you have these three back here that are going to be moving up into our region. So widespread, I'd call it about 1 to 3 inches, but if these continue to train over the same areas, you are likely on that higher end of maybe closer to 2 to 3. This has even switched over to snow. It's trying to at least down towards southern St. Mary's County. If you're down towards St. Mary City in Scotland, it's having a hard time, but some of you are reporting to me that you are seeing snow. The furthest south camera I can get you is down towards Callaway. Look at Leonardtown. It continues to look like a winter wonderland. But the farthest south camera I can get you right now is Callaway. And look, again, this is maybe 5 to 10 miles difference. This is Leonardtown. Looks like a winter wonderland. Callaway, it's snowing. It's a totally different story, though. You're just looking at snow here on the grass, mainly wet roadways. We're up here in Leonardtown. You have snow on the roadways, and it's a winter wonderland. Callaway, nothing. Lexington Park, even. You start to see some snow accumulation on the roads, and you head up towards California. It's like you head 5 minutes north, and it's a totally different story everywhere you go. It's one thing in Solomons, it's another thing in Lesbian, another thing in St. Leonard, another thing in Prince. It's like as you head up Route 4, it's totally different things. So this is going to be very interesting. Patty's asking if it's going to snow all day. It will not. This will end probably in about 2 hours. So it's how much snow can we get to fall in the next 2 hours? And we're seeing snow rates of about 1 inch or 2 an hour right now. Let's see, Leslie, will this be changing back to rain? We are seeing heavy snow in Leonardtown, but don't want to miss the opportunity to play outside. Leslie, I would say right now is your best chance. There is the potential for this to switch back over to snow, or back over to a little bit of rain to end. Let's see, Stephanie, Charles County, and I have no snow. Again, Stephanie, you got to be a little bit more specific than that because, I mean, coming back over to radar, oh my God, I need to find the correct thing. Let's take it back over here. This really does come down to where exactly you are. I mean, radar's picking up on snow through much of Charles County. It's trying to allude to maybe, like we were talking about, and I'll show you all again for those of you that are just now joining us. Radar's trying to point to a heavier band right here in northwestern Charles County. A really heavy band that extends right through the heart of St. Mary's and southern Calvert counties. One down here through Pope's Creek, Newburgh, through portions of King George. Another one through like Nanjemoy down through the Fredericksburg area. So, I mean, and these are all potentially producing 1 inch an hour. Outside of these bands, you're probably not seeing as much, and maybe we do have some rain mixing in along like the Patuxent River. But this is a really interesting situation where it's really coming down to location. If you get under a heavy band, you're seeing higher snowfall totals. If you don't, you might see 1 inch, but it won't be a whole bunch. Earlier this morning, we were looking at snow really accumulating for areas in northwestern portions of our region. This was the area that was seeing the heaviest snow, and that has kind of transitioned southward as we now have heavier bands that have set up. So, I mean, this region could see 2 to 3 because you've seen snow so long, and this region could see 2 to 3 because you're under a heavy band of snow. And then down to the south, it might be more like 1 to 2 because that heaviest band isn't over you. So it really will determine where this heaviest snow band sets up. Right now, it's setting up, like we said the last couple of days, you have that rain-snow line. That's kind of set up right along here. And it is literally on the other side of that rain-snow line where you see these heaviest precipitation rates. It's a very dynamic situation. Temperatures this currently being reported. We sit at 34 at Pax River. When I started coverage at 2 a.m. this morning, this number was 49. So it cooled significantly, 33 at Andrews, 37 at Webster. So even just this difference here between Pax River and down towards St. Mary City, this difference here, we're talking 3 degrees, that makes a huge difference. That's why you might be seeing more rain down towards Scotland and St. Mary City, where it's, I mean, we have that heavy accumulating snow as you head up the road into California. I mean, look at this, right? If I take it back over to Leonardtown, Snow is falling fast, snow is falling heavy, and the snow will continue to fall through much of the region. And this is going to continue to be the story I think that we talk about over the next couple of days. Or a couple of days, the next hour or two, my mistake. So again, this is going to be a very dynamic situation. It will really depend on where you are, where these heaviest bands set up, and right now they really are favoring southern Calvert County and central St. Mary's County to see the heaviest band of snow, and this is where you're seeing snow rates of about an inch or two an hour, and that's going to continue here for about the next hour. Coming back here to the Leonardtown camera, you can see traffic very slow, snow plows trying to get out there, but hard to keep up with, and to me this looks like it's probably already an inch or so, and you just switched over to snow not too long ago. Toot my horn, I'm the best. I live in St. Mary's City. It's just rain and snow mix, just a wet mess. Yeah, it's really, that rain snow line is so critical. So critical. Let's stick around though. I mean, we're not going to be talking about snow that's sticking around into the afternoon, but this will cause some travel issues if you're headed out this afternoon. When does it end? Does it turn back to rain? So that was Amanda Duke, I think that is Duke that asked that. This will end by about noon. And around that time, we might switch back to a brief period of rain. So if you live under that heavy snow band, I mean, look at this scene. You want to get out now to enjoy it. And Catherine says it's even coming down good in Callaway. Taking a look down to the Callaway camera, it is snowing. It's having a harder time to snow down here than it is in Leonardtown, though. And yeah, Amber's saying big flakes in Leonardtown. Dameron is switching off and on between rain and snow, and you all are right on that line down there. Taking you back over here to radar. Let's throw in precipitation types. Again, radar, because it is such a heavy, wet snow. I mean, radar is trying to point some rain in here. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, and if that is accurate, let me know. The cameras the ones I could probably access right now that would answer this question for me of what's actually happening. Let's check what the Benedict camera has for us. And it still shows snow, so. It's heavy in Hollywood, Golden Beach. Roads are wet, snow starting to come down faster. Latoya says that there's no heavy snow by Hermanville, and it's right on that edge there. I mean, if I take radar off here and just kind of put it into a normal mode to show that heavy snow band. So, I need to click on the actual pen marker tool. The heaviest band is right here. So it's these areas down in here. So again, this is probably like one inch an hour or so. It's these areas down in here that are more like a rain, snow mix. You're going back and forth between rain, snow, and up here, it's mainly snow, but radar's trying to allude that maybe we have some rain trying to mix back in a little bit. Let's see, Piney Point, nothing but rain and a few flakes here and there. 1 inch in the last hour in St. Leonard. So, I mean, just take a look at that difference. I mean, you have Piney Point down here. We're reporting just rain and flakes. You're up in St. Leonard, though. You're seeing this death band here of like 1 inch an hour. Actually, what I want to do, and I'll stay on live here for a little bit for you all. I do want to get a post up on JB Weather so you all will get to see me do it live. About radar, because again, this is such an interesting dynamic we have at play this morning. So do bear with me while I do this, because for those that are unable to watch the live stream forecasts, like the live stream updates, it's hard for them to get up to know what's going on because I stay on this. So if I want to while we do this, we'll take a live look at Leonardtown as well, so we have something to look at. So it's not just me sitting here on the computer. Again, just look at Leonardtown. It is coming down fast and furious. Let's see. So that heavy snow band. Oof. And I would like to erase this. And my apologies. This is never like the best part of like the live coverage because I am a one-man show, which has its perks. But it means that you will get to just watch me do this for a second while I get everything together. So just bear with me here. Let's see. Heavier band. We need that black background. Alright, we will merge these layers together. I will take this. And we will rotate it. Move it up here. Alright. The graphic is done. Now I just need to get it up onto Twitter and Twitter and Facebook. And I think that might have just taken away the live camera. That should be back now. Okay, so we have William Richmond Inc. Radar. And while I'm doing this, JB Weather is now on Instagram. So at JB Weather, go give me a follow there. I'm trying to build that up now since I see a lot of people are now on Instagram. So I figure it's a good way to try to expand the following. So it's at JB Weather on Instagram. Let's see, we have a heavier band of hashtag snow that has set up along southern Calvert and central St. Mary's County. This, let's see, taking radar out of winter mode. You can't see that. This is producing snow rates of an inch of 1 to 2 inches an hour, causing all right, almost done. That's on Facebook. Just got to get it onto Twitter, and we will be all good. And sorry you all had to stick with me through that. And yeah, just I'm looking over some of the tweets that are coming in. Have you seen the videos you all have? And you all can always tweet me. Your pictures, you can post them on the Facebook page. Because that definitely helps. So let me get back here to your comments again. This is a live look here at Leonardtown. This is Route 5 at 243. We are looking at heavy snow that continues to fall across the region. And again, it's really setting up in this one band here. This is taking radar out of winter mode. So this allows us to really see where the heaviest bands are. And where you get those dark greens and yellows, that shows where the heaviest band is. And Amber says that her dad says it's raining in Ridge, and Ronaldo's getting some moderate snow, snowing in St. Indigo's. Yeah, 235 I would believe is bad. If we take a look at that, let me come back over here. And let's, this is not working out the way I wanted to work out. Let's take it over to California. Yeah, and you can see here on the California camera, we have snow that's really setting up. One second. Okay. So again, this live look at 2:35. Taking a look down towards Lexington Park, though, at 2:37. Again, and this is just, I mean, this is literally the difference between Lexington Park and California. So this is Lexington Park right now. We take over to California, totally different story. On up towards Leonardtown, 100% a different story. This is, you know, it is a crazy morning across the region. Okay, sorry, just had to get... let me get this posted as well. Again, this is, so when I'm not on my live streams, this is typically what this looks like for you. And I'll keep this up as I get this post up as well. Let's see, this is a look at Leonardtown. And accumulating on the grass. Take it easy out there. I'm joining Facebook Live to get the latest. And I should probably have a link to that. Actually, there we go. I will link the YouTube channel. See, there we go. I'm branding. So give me 1 second. Let me get this together. Come join the live forecast to get the latest. All right, that's tweeted. All right, let me get just down to the bottom part of the comments here. Are the heavy bands headed towards the California area? Tim wants to know. Let's bring up radar here. And again, this shows at least a little bit of our bands maybe trying to lessen. I wouldn't even say lessen up. They're just moving around. But California sits on the bottom edge of this. So this band is going to stay to the north of California most likely. This is moving almost due northeast. However, I do see reason to believe that this heavier stuff down here to the south could potentially impact California. Any heavy bands coming through Colonial Beach? I mean, according to radar, we have a heavier band that's set up here near Colonial Beach. I mean, we have some heavy stuff out towards like Index and Port Royal, and this will be moving closer towards you. So what is this? Like 205. So as you travel northward on 205 towards Colonial Beach, you'll see some heavier snow come that way. And I see, what was this? I assume that means the Ranch Club. Let me take oh wow. It's a good video. Get out of that just so it doesn't play that. Heavy snow, big flakes in Prince Frederick at German Chapel Road. Yeah, I mean, if we come up here, you can see that this band does extend into Prince Frederick. So, I mean, you can see here on radar the different bands that have set up across the region. If we come back over here so I can edit a little bit. Again, here's this heavy band right here. This is moving northeast. We have another band right in here. We have just a heavier pocket here. And what I actually do want to see, though, is if this southern one is actually associated with maybe a little bit more sleet. And we can do that by checking our correlation coefficient. So we will just do it like this. I know this, I mean, so what this side of radar is showing, so this is normal radar, what you see. This over here is our correlation coefficient. What this allows us to see is how similar objects are in the atmosphere that are falling. This purple indicates we're near 100% similarity, so what's falling is either all rain or it is all snow. There's no, that's not really like a sleet mix at all. So we are looking at almost all rain falling across the region. That's take it back to winter mode, and radar is trying to suggest maybe a little bit of a change back to rain. I'm not sure I buy this. This version of radar does not have that at all. This really shows that heavy band really well right here. And it continues to stream to the northwest. It shows this band. It shows this band. It shows a band here. A band here, a band up here, some banding up here. So you see all these different bands that are generally moving north and west. So if you're down towards like southern St. Mary's County, south of about Great Mills, you're likely not going to see much. You might see an inch of snow at most, but you've been mixing with the rain, and these heavy bands will likely stay to your north. We kind of expected that a little bit. That rain snow line right now, let's get this off. That rain snow line right now kind of sits something like that. And isn't that always how it sets up? So, like, Scotland doesn't see much. And this is trying its hardest to come this way. But we're now getting to a point in the day where temperatures are about as low as we're going to get. And they're going to begin to rise here over the next while. So let me take this off. Let's switch it back over to this version. And we will just switch this over to normal mode, so we don't have to deal with that. Publish without tag, thank you. I swear, Facebook becomes increasingly difficult to try to work around because it just does not ever want to give in. It's like I try to do an update and it's always like, oh, do you want to tag this or do you want to add a button or something? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to do the post. So we will begin to notice a changeover to more of a rain snow mix, probably around 11 or 12. So in the next half hour, it wouldn't surprise me to see that happen, but we are looking at snow in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And I'll take you back over here because my little stick figure graphic seems to get the job done. So you have snow that is always falling from the cloud base, even when it's 100 degrees outside. This precipitation initially starts as snow, and it's bringing these snowflakes act as little vessels. These snowflakes act as vessels to bring down cold air. So when you get heavy snow, it really brings down that cold air. And when it's falling fast, it has no time to melt. I'm going to come back over here to the Leonardtown camera live, and you can see traffic is slow. You can see the heavy snow falling. It's really accumulating now on main roadways. You can see that looks like a good inch, maybe 2 here now in Leonardtown. This is 5 at 2:43. Let's take another tour around radar. This is 2:35. You can see that the snow continues to fall, accumulating here on the grass. It continues to fall and accumulate a little bit on the roadways as well. The Thomas Johnson Bridge camera, it faces the ground now. It fell, but you can see snow accumulation happening here as well. The Benedict Bridge, we see snow falling up towards Brandywine. Snow is just falling fast, and we're seeing more accumulation now, a little bit on the roadways, definitely here on the median. Taking a look at Nanjemoyne, you can see we have snow falling, trying its best to accumulate here on the roadways. Let's take a look up towards Andrews. That camera's not available, but is this camera available? Yes, it is. And you can see snow falling heavy, really accumulating here on the roadways. Let's take a look over towards, let's say Chesapeake Beach, see what we got here. This camera isn't the best because it's just pointed at the road. You can see some snow accumulation there on the roadway. And then up here in Annapolis, this is a Rivia Road. I always have a hard time with that. Rivia Road, so this is 665 West, accumulating here on the median and grassy surfaces, trying to on the roads. I think the most impressive camera this morning here is the Leonardtown camera. You can see we have heavy snow continuing, and it's really accumulating on roadways and accumulating on the grassy surfaces. Taking it back on over towards radar right now. Where you see these bright greens and the yellows, that is the indication of a heavier band of snow. And we're going to come back in our radar here, really get into it a little bit. Let's bring you over here. Let's make sure I have the right? Pins and everything. So our rain snow line looks to have set up about through here. So that's going to be your rain snow line, that pink line. Now these additional lines I want to draw here in white would be your heavier bands. You have one heavy band that's set up right through here. This is producing about 1 inch an hour. You have an additional heavier band that's set up right through here. More heavy snow right down through here. Another one up through here. This continues up into Upper Marlboro, Brandywine, on over into parts of Anne Arundel County. And this is all pushing north and east. That's the way the precip is. The rainstorm line trying to go a little bit more south and east. But this is all where you're looking at 1 inch an hour of snow falling, especially here where you see these bright yellows. Again, that is the bright yellows will indicate 1 inch an hour rates. So you will probably end up with, I would estimate, probably a good 2 to 3 inches right in here. I would say probably right through here. And likely right up through here. So all of these areas likely 2 to 3. All of these areas likely a good 2 to 3. Outside of this, it's more like probably a little bit more like 1 to 2. And then down here, this is more like around 1 inch, right? That's my best attempt at there we go, around 1 inch. Everywhere else, it's about 1 to 2. I know that's a lot of drawing, but that gives you a good idea of really kind of how things are setting up. Let's take all this off so I can animate radar here for a second, and I'll get to your comments. So let me just animate this, and you can see the way the precip's been streaming in, where you get these yellow bands, that's your heavy snow. Let's see, over 1 inch in Leonardtown and still coming down heavy and fast. Roads are covered. What's the forecast for the St. Mary's College area? So down towards St. Mary's City, you're looking at that rain and snow mix, you might see about 1 inch or so. YouTube and Instagram sign up are complete. Thank you, Erica. And some of you now are watching on YouTube. That's the link I posted on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you subscribe. And then anyone else, head to the website. See the little YouTube icon in the top corner of your screen. Click on that. You can subscribe. I need to get like a few more subscribers, I think, to change the URL to like youtube.com/jbweather. Right now, it's a whole bunch of random like letters and numbers. What's Andrews Air Force Base looking like? We can take a look at that. Let me bring you over here. So again, that's Leonardtown. Let's take you on up towards Andrews. And again, this isn't exactly Andrews, but this is 495 of Forestville. If we look at, of course, so this is the closest I'm going to get to Andrews. You're probably looking at a good inch or two up this way. Kathleen saying snowing hard again in Great Mills, and that really does show that. If I zoom in here a little bit, it's really going to be, and it really has been, this region right in here that's been switching back between that rain and snow mix. When you get the snow, it's probably heavy, and when you get rain, it's probably heavy. So this is where you're going to have a hard time getting more than maybe a couple inches. I would expect maybe around 1 inch for much of the area here locally. We just got a new radar update here, so let me clear this. Let's play around with radar. I mean, you can see this heavy band really extending. I mean, let's zoom out. Let's get the pen tool up here. You can see that heavy snow band really setting up right in here, where just to the southeast of it, it's rain and snow. Up north, it's a lighter snow. And then in here, it's, your 1 inch an hour. So that's kind of where we're sitting at with it. Where's that Nanjemoyne camera located? Again, it's not necessarily Nanjemoyne, I don't think. I'm not as knowledgeable with Charles. Oh, that's me. Hello. I'm not as well versed. I'm clicking every screen but the one I want. I'm not as well versed with Charles County as I am like Calvert and St. Mary's, but this is near. Like, this is right where 224 meets 344. So this is, like, near Smallwood State Park on over towards, what is it, Doncaster Demonstration State Forest. That region over there. This is right up along the Potomac River. So, a little bit further to the north, but actually, if I can show... So the Nanjemoyne camera is right here. So Nanjemoyne sits right here. So it's a little bit further to the north of Nanjemoyne, but it's really kind of between Nanjemoyne and like Indian Head, this area right in here. That's the camera. When we reference Nanjemoyne, that's what we're talking about. Let's bring it back over here. So, and I'm trying to get better a little bit with this Charles County geography, and I think I have gotten a little better. But yeah, that continues to be the story. We don't have any snow emergencies in effect at the moment. And I'll bring it back over here towards radar so you can get an idea. And I want to show the, there we go, because it shows it all the snow. So we'd love to see the 2 to 3 Berg and Newberg actually show up and stick around. Odds of a 2-hour delay tomorrow, we'll see. It's going to be a little iffy. We'll see if the snow can stick around. I would maybe say like a 30% chance. Let's see. April roads in Leslie are absolutely horrible. Still heavy on 231 in Prince Frederick. Coming down pretty hard in Callaway and Great Mills. Definitely sticking to road services. And yeah, I mean, we still do see these heavier snow bands sending up right through like St. Leonard, Lusby, Leonardtown, Hollywood, Loveville, in that general area. And we'll take a look at the Chesapeake Beach camera for you, Chantal. Let's get you up to, again, this isn't the best camera. It just faces the road. If I take off the banner here, you can see, so we have snow accumulation here on the grass. We see snow trying to accumulate on the roadways. It looks like up here maybe about an inch or two, maybe closer to an inch has fallen and accumulated. But, I would expect maybe between 1 to 2 inches up this way, maybe closer to 2 if you consistently see snow the next hour and a half or so. And yeah, snowing hard in Hollywood. Let me take a look at the Hollywood camera again, because these tend to change frequently. And this isn't Hollywood. This is where Route 4 meets 235. So right there, that intersection. So if you think about it, you would have, I believe, like the Wawas, like generally over here. You have all the shopping plazas down here. This would be, you're turning in to get onto the Thomas Johnson Bridge. So this is kind of that region, looking southward, and you have snow falling pretty heavy. Let's see, Lesby was snowing like crazy like 5 minutes ago. Prince Frederick, yeah, and again, this really comes down to area by area. You see here on radar, we can see that heaviest band setting up between about Lesby and St. Leonard, where Prince Frederick it isn't as heavy, and Solomon's it isn't as heavy. Chris, it's called the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, no town names show up when I zoom in on it. If I take you here on radar, literally nothing shows up over here. I know we have Welcome over here. I know we have Nanjemoyne over here. But those are about the only 2 town names I can give you off the top of my head in this area. But this area, we'll see some, some inflated snow rates coming up. And when the snow stops today, probably around noon or so. That's when I would expect it to kind of taper off a little bit. Ideal is heavy snow covering grass and slush on roads. I know I've been focusing a lot down south. I don't have any cameras up in this area. The nearest one's Chesapeake Beach, but up here towards like the Deal, Edgewater, Shady Side region, right up down here through southern parts of St. Mary's County, you've seen snow since about 6 or 7 o'clock this morning. I think it's more like 7 o'clock. So you've seen it for about 3.5 hours. You probably already have about an inch or two, and you can maybe add on another inch by the time all is said and done. And yeah, Rachel, all the comments I see, the roads across Calvert are no bueno. And Michelle will probably taper off around noon or so. And finally, on to the bottom of the comments. So yeah, this is what we're going to continue to see. If I take you over here, Andrew says heavy snow in California. Taking you over here. Let's take a quick look here at Futurecast. So let me make sure that this is updated so people don't get confused. We are looking at Futurecast. Oh, no, I want that. I don't want that. There we go. So taking a look at Futurecast. It shows, the rain snow line pretty well. So this is right now. So this was 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It tries to have us mix with more rain, so that is definitely possible as we head towards about 11 o'clock or so to mix with a little bit more rain across the region. But snow sticks around for much of us. And then by about noon or so, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so between about noon and 2 o'clock, snow begins to wind down. If we just take a look at a wide view of radar, you can see the back edge right out here. And our storm sits right here. This is kind of where we thought it would sit. So it sits right here and is passing, to the northeast, and it's allowing, and I can do this now, I keep forgetting. So our storm sits right around here, passing this way. And this track has really allowed it to help bring in colder air down, and it has helped to push the rain snow line well to the south. And right on the other side of that, that's where we're seeing bands of heavier snow set up, and we can see that. I mean, when we look regionally, you can see the heavier bands setting up in our region. If we zoom back down in here, I mean, again, rain snow line sits right around here. On the northwestern flank of that, you can see we have a heavy band of snow that is set up right here. Another one that is set up right about here. This is where you're going to get 1 inch an hour moving here. And these are moving generally to the north and east. So do expect that to continue, for the next hour or two. The back edge is out here towards Winchester, and that will move out here probably between about 12 and 2. So, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So, yeah, you can see our system, and it will be pulling away here over the next couple of hours. But we're going to stick with the snow. I mean, if we do a radar loop, and this is going to be over the course of 4 hours. And this will kind of update. And while it does so, we will come over here and I'll talk to you. So again, this is 235 at 4. This over here is like where the Wawa would be. So this is when you come off Route 4, you come across the Thomas Johnson Bridge, you get to that light where you have 3 Notch Road and 4 meet. So this would be like the Wawa. Down here would be like the shopping plazas. This would be your turn lane to come on to Route 4. So just to give you a general idea. Snow continues to fall. If we head down this road to Lexington Park, it's bad, but not nearly, well, I guess it is now nearly as bad. When we looked at this about 5 or 10 minutes ago, it did not look this bad, and the snow's coming down sideways. Way down to Callaway, it's now starting to accumulate a little bit on the roads. Leonardtown has been the camera of choice for me this morning, and you can see travel is slow. Snow is accumulating on the roads, and you can see, I mean, people are keeping their distance this morning. This truck's trying it a little bit, but let's see. Herbie, around 2 o'clock, you think the roads will be better than now? They will be. Temperatures today, if I take you over to today's forecast, so that is my stick figure drawing. That's the snow forecast, old advisory. So we will be headed up towards the upper 30s, so around 40 by about dinner time. So right around 4 o'clock or so before the Super Bowl, we should max out around that, around the 40s. So that will allow for snow on the roads at least to melt. The issue, though, what we were trying to figure out today was if we only saw rain and no snow, the forecast busted all we saw was rain, we wouldn't see issues really this evening or tomorrow because we would dry out, the roads would dry out, and we'd be fine. But now that we have snow sticking around, And we're seeing accumulation on major roadways like Route 5, like 235, like 4, like 231. That snow will melt, but tonight we're getting down into the 20s, so you will refreeze everything as we head into tonight. So that will play a role, and I'll have an update on school predictions and all that stuff coming up a little later, probably afternoon. Probably when I finish this, I'll get that article written up and I'll get that out to y'all, so you can really get a sense of where I stand with this. But yeah, this is all good now that we've talked a little bit. And you can see, so this is a 4-hour loop. These circles represent our storm. This circle here represents our storm center. So, and then when a new circle pops up, that's a strengthening low. And you can see we started this rain. It wrapped in that cold air from the north and west, and that rain snow line crashed to the south. This system is really getting going. It is really getting going this morning. So let me do a quick radar update for those on Facebook and Twitter. Again, so you all just don't have anything to look at. I feel like a parent that has to put on something on the TV or something. Give me 1 second here. There we go. So that should stay up. Let me get this over here. Not that I think you all are children, but I do want to get this up. And again, that is another thing about being a one-man show, is that unlike the people on TV who have 7 people helping them out, it's just me, which is fine. I prefer it this way. I try to do JB weather with partners and stuff, and when it comes to the weather, I work a lot better alone. Nothing against anyone else. It's 100% a me problem, and I'm very upfront about that. So that is why, well, JB weather used to have 3 forecasters. It is just much better when I do it by myself. Well, it means I'm crazy at all hours of the day. I mean, the product I'm able to put out by myself, I think, is a little better than a product I would be able to put out anywhere else. But yes, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be looking at the comments here in just a second. So I'm going to get this together. This process tends to take me longer than I want it to. Okay. So yeah, this would be a behind the scenes look at how I do this. Just look at, so when typically in between these live hits, this is just what I do. It's very uneventful. But I promise I will speak with you all in just a second. But while I do this, I can speak a little bit. You can see, here we go. Snow continues to accumulate across the region. The heaviest band is really set up through southern Calvert and St. Mary's counties right now, and that continues to be the region where I think we could maybe see the highest ranges of our snow totals, and that will likely be close to 2 to 3 inches. You can see in St. Leonard and Hollywood, Leonardtown. You can see traffic is moving slow this morning, and travel impacts will likely continue through much of the day. Definitely through the morning, and then as snow melts and then tries to refreeze, it will continue on. So let me get this on up over to Facebook and Twitter. William Richmond Inc. Radar 1050. To our south and east. This has led to bands of heavy snow setting up across the region. As the system pulls away, we may see a brief switch back to rain before it all comes to an end around between is a better word, between midnight and 2 p.m. Stay safe as roads are hazardous. All right. Change that. Post, and we shall tweet. All right, that is done. I'm going to take a look at, let's see. Yeah, someone just tweeted me, M. may regret not pre-treating the roads. That is definitely, I think, true. I mean, we can see on the Lettertown camera, when you get a snowplow that comes by, it gets a little better, but it's not the best by any stretch of the imagination. So if you are headed out this evening or this morning, do be aware that you will run into travel difficulties across the region this morning, especially where you have the heaviest band of snow that is set up. If I come back over here to radar to show you, it's where you get this like dark green and yellow, where you're looking at 1 inch an hour. This continues to fall over the same region, so like continues to fall in Hollywood and Leonardtown and Leslie and St. Leonard. These are the same areas we continue to see snowfall. Brother wants to know when the snow will stop in Clinton, probably around 12 or 1. John, thanks for doing this for us. I follow you here and on Twitter. So, yeah, thank you, John. Stay with JB Weather. You can always get the forecast. You see the links down below. Or, here we go. Over here. On Facebook, Twitter at JB_Weather. On the website, on YouTube, you can get that on the website, and now on Instagram at JB Weather. And you can send me your snow pics. I would love to see them. It is a very snow-filled morning this morning. And we continue to see snow move in. As we play radar through, you can see where these heavier bands, where the yellows have been, continue to set up over the same regions here in like central and southern Calvert County and central St. Mary's County. So this is where you're probably going to pick up over 1 inch of snow. And I'll see if we have any reports in. So we have a report of 1 inch over towards Lesbian, report of 1 inch over towards Leonardtown, which means our forecast has verified, which is awesome. We report of 3.5 inches actually up here towards Frederick, 5.5 in northern parts of Frederick, about 1 inch in Montgomery County, 1 inch over towards Howard County, 1 inch getting close to DC, about 1.5 inches in Prince William County, and I'm sure these totals will continue to go up as the day heads on. It is a very, very active morning for you. To go out, yeah, I would definitely recommend just stay in. There's no need to go out. No need. Sticking to the roads and sidewalks in Lexington Park. Yeah, I want to come back here. These cameras really do prove to be a lifesaver. So this is, let's get down to Lexington Park. 235 at 237, you can see the snow is coming down sideways a little bit. We are getting this accumulation here on the roads. This is a major road here. This is 3-notch road, I believe. And you get it on the grassy surfaces, the sidewalks, and now even the roads because it's coming down so heavy. JB, how is this storm different from the last week where we were right at 32, 33, but got a sleet, rain, snow mix? So the biggest difference with this system is that there is a lot of cold air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and this started to come through overnight. So temperatures were cooling. So when this storm initially came, temperatures were warmer. But what we've seen happen this morning is that it's been able to bring down that colder air. When I can come over here. This will really help to tell the story. Got to get to the slideshow a little bit. When we were looking last of this time last week. The issue is that this warm layer here was a lot thicker. So we might have been around the same temperature, but the issue was this warm layer was a lot thicker because we had warm air coming in. It was a lot thicker than it is currently. Where right now we are closer to the part of the graphic that's closest to my head. That warm layer is very, very shallow, so that's allowing all the snow to stick around. It's a heavy, wet snow that accumulates and sticks to everything. So does it rain and it all go away? Or I would expect some prolonged travel impacts going through much of the day today. An inch and a half in Leonard 10th and 34 degrees. It is a very snowy morning and active morning, and I think that will only continue across much of the region. I'm just looking at some of the pictures that have come in on Facebook. So yes, it is crazy. And Jessie Taylor just tweeted a picture out of Morganza. Looks like she's about an inch or two, so getting close to that forecasted amount. Let's bring it back over here. Take a look at live radar. See just over an inch in Charlotte Hall and Mechanicsville. Yeah, and I would imagine, driving south, coming back over here, this is Lexington Park. Good luck traveling in this. I don't know how you would do it. Taking you back over to Leonardtown. Snow continues to fall, and it continues to coat almost everything. It's a heavy snow. It is a heavy snow. So this will continue to be the story here over the next hour or two, and I think that we might see some rain mix in, and then it'll come to an end around that time. So it will continue to be. If you have to head out, I would probably wait. If you need to get last minute grocery shopping done because you're going to be watching the Super Bowl or something, I would hold off at least until this afternoon. But even still, we'll probably still have some impacts around. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little forecast update typed up and published on the website. And if we need to do another one of these again, we will hop on here probably in the next half hour, 45 minutes, kind of recap what's going on. So stay tuned, and I will continue to keep you updated here with the latest. But in the meantime, I'm forecaster John Bordash. Thank you for sticking around with me for just over an hour. It's been fun, and we will continue to keep you updated. You can follow me at the link shown below. So have a nice and safe one, and keep it locked in right here to JB Weather.